Well, I don't really know what I was thinking. I just did a 4-minute video in the lineup at the car wash, only to have to turn it off because I was at the car wash. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, we are on our way home now. I wanted to get my car washed because it's filthy after going to Pennsylvania yesterday. And we had a long day at the burn. It was a good day. We were done around 12:15, which is great. We started a little bit late. I will not be blamed for that today, as that was James McDonald's fault. Anthony was ready to go at 8 o'clock. James wasn't even there till 8:10, so don't blame me. But we did get things going. We rolled through pretty good. A little less than 4 solid hours of droning, and we got most of our horses done. Only one late scratch, which was procrastinator. I talked about that in the thing. That was a little upsetting, but whatever. We had turned out procrastinator before because he had a lot of mucus and he just couldn't get healthy. He didn't have any mucus today, just had a little bit of an elevated temperature and a little bit of a cough, so we decided to scratch him. I know it's frustrating, but that's the way. I'm not going to train a horse when he has a temperature just because. So there was that, but it was a great day. And yesterday I did make a video coming home from the meadows, but I deleted it. I just wasn't in the mood to talk about the day I had because I knew I was going to have a bad day, but just with the week we had leading up and so few things to generate any optimism other than the baby's training on Wednesday, it just wasn't a lot to talk about, right? It just seemed like anything that could go wrong went wrong. That's the week we had. So, nevertheless, things are better now. What I did do was go to the meadows, get up at 5 o'clock. I did not go down the night before. I got up at 5:30, left the house at 6 a.m., was at the track at 11. Went up to Tim's, looked at the horses, and raced. Now we raced, won my hard Hanover. She should have won, but I'll tell you what she was. She was very polite. I went to leave out with her. I was going to leave out for position, and I knew there was a bunch of speed in there, so I was keeping a very, very close eye on them. It looked like we weren't going to get the jump on 3 or 4 of them. What's the point of leave to get away 4th on the inside? Best case scenario, you get out somewhere. If it's not as good, you get shuffled back. If it's worst case scenario, you never get out and you're just pinned down forever. And I certainly was not going to come first over. This is her 4th start, lifetime, I believe, maybe 5th, but 4th recently. And, she got a long year ahead of her. So I called an audible, quickly leaving the gate. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. And I didn't know. At that point, it can only go 2 ways. You go to take a hold of her, and she gets hot. She's a Sebastian Cave. We haven't had too many quiet ones. Her, I went to take a hold of her. She was polite. She allowed me to take her back, race her from off the pace, and she raced decent. We'd be talking for minutes about this filly had she went out and won. She should have, but she didn't. Scoped her after. A little bit of mucus and a little bit of redness at the top of the throat. Nothing serious. Going to give her a couple of weeks off. We have a series coming up for her. Another filly who is now in Tim's care, Frilly Fringes, will be qualifying on Tuesday. She, too, has series coming up. Fox Valley Britska's a little trickier. Now, it's an open maiden at Northfield Park, which means you get in on date, not jurisdictional preference, as you do in Pennsylvania. The draw for Friday at Northfield Park is Monday. The draw for the Meadows is Tuesday. Although the maiden has been short, and by all accounts, he should get in on Friday. If there are nine maidens entered that are PA owned or bred, no matter the date, he doesn't get in. So that's what I have to think about over the next 24, 48 hours is when and where are we going to race Fox Valley Britska. I know where we're going to race Frilly Fringes when she qualifies. We'll be right there in Pennsylvania. So, who else raced? Bottle of Red, a little short, 23 days out, coming off a couple of bouts of sickness and a trip to the sale. I wasn't shocked that she was 4th, but she should have been closer. She should have been a 3rd on the wheel of Tony Hall. Instead, she was 4th, beat for 3rd by Brady Brown. A little disappointed in her output, but again, she was short. And then Miss Brampton Beast was in too tough. She needs to be in Bottle of Red's class. I believe we just rectified that. Miss Brampton Beast will race in that class next week, and I wouldn't be surprised if she won. She looked, I know when you look at her, you're like, Anthony, she was 9th, followed speed. Yeah, she paced 56, come 29 seconds, and was in with horses she can't beat. And I know I'm going to get more emails about people. What about Beach Boutique? What was Tim doing wrong? Listen, I think we all know what's going on there, right? 400 trainer, bought the horse out of the sale. One, he underpaid for her. I knew he did. You knew he did if you're the owners. A couple of people thought that that's all she was worth. I thought she was worth more. Nevertheless, I believe she was undersold, underpurchased, went to a very hot, very sharp barn, and I think, hey, good on Scott Betts and his crew for winning with her yesterday. But at the same time, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about Beach Boutique. I take great pride in the work that Tim Twaddle does. Very good, very good, very honest horseman, and I'm very proud of the work we do in Pennsylvania. And if you seem to think that we're just going to sell horses and make people look stupid all the time, then you're in the wrong barn. That's just not going to happen. There are going to be times when horses get sold, and sure, we've had horses that went forward this year. Lots of them. Need Your Opinion went down and won in Dover. We paid well for Need Your Opinion. She went down and won in Dover. Arctic Force went down and won in Dover. Even I'll Play It Alone won in Dover. Right? But I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to say, oh, it's this went wrong and that went wrong. At the end of the day, that's horse racing. And, you know, for the people out there saying, what about this horse? What about that horse? For every one that goes forward, I can probably give you 8 to 10 names that didn't. And that also is horse racing. Not the end of the world. So, congratulations to the people that bought Beach Boutique. Good. Maybe you'll buy some horses off us in the future. But I don't want to talk about and dwell on that. Ollie, can you bring her bottle in, buddy? Yes, she had it right there with her. Oh, look over there for a bottle. But I'll tell you what, the reason I didn't make the video yesterday, as I said, I just wasn't in the mood. You know, I couldn't just draw any optimism from anywhere. I was happy with the babies, how they went Wednesday. I was ecstatic about how they went today, but it's not even February. There's going to be lots of good days and training days from here and there, and I'm not going to pump anybody's wheels, but oh my God, the horse was great today. The horse needs to be great in June and July and August. That's when they need to be great. So it is very aesthetically pleasing to watch a horse go out and train well, regardless of the month. So I am happy and pumped about what took place today. Just a couple of little Coles notes real quick. I do have a lot of videos to make. I do have a lot of top 10 lists and all the lists to make. But I'm going to give you little Coles notes of what's coming up in your videos on Monday. Voyage of Ice and Fire was absolutely tremendous today. Spent was good. Eyes of 10. How do I get away from how do I get away from letting the cat out of the bag? You know what? I'm just going to tell you the horses I went with, I was pleased with, or horses that really caught my eye. We get into a top 10 list later on. Voyage of Ice and Fire and Spent were absolutely lights out, fantastic today. You saw the break Voyage of Ice and Fire made, and you know, watch close, you know why he did it. Just being green and immature. The horse crossed down in front of him, and he just got a little spooked and run. 3 Point Blue Chip, same type of place at the track. That corner is always the toughest one. Shh, it is here. Go in and get a bottle, then put milk in it. Microwave for 30 seconds, please. Addie Bear is out cold. One in the jug, please.
The red one?
Yeah. What else would we have? Eyes of 10. And Eyes of 10 and Renegade Gypsy. Renegade Gypsy, keep your eye on this horse. This horse looks fantastic. Mario's doing a great job with him. He looks good. So, very interested in what's going to take place with him for the rest of the year. This horse, I don't want to get too high in horses. It's January 30th or whatever it is. Of Tom was great today. You guys knew this. You could see she was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. This affiliate had some time in the stall because we had OCDs taken out. Man, she looked really good today. Massive Profit continues to look better. Another horse, Green, got doubled up in a hole and made a break. But the more times they make that break for doing that, the less likely it is they'll do it in a race. So you guys know all this stuff. And this is why it's important to have these horses trained like this. Bomb Hugger, no playing around with Bomb Hugger today. I went a little bit fast the last half, but Bomb Hugger had been making breaks, and from where I stood and from what I could see, they were needless. Not paying attention, not caring, not really that concerned with how your work looked and how you did your work on the track. She was very attentive today. She was all business. And Johnny said, he goes, I thought it was a racehorse training. Often when we're training the babies, there's other people at the farm, they'll train racehorses. So if we see them coming, we'll move over and let them go by. Johnny said, geez, I thought it was a racehorse coming. When I moved Bomb Hugger, that was an impressive brush. to say the least, when I came with her. And the thing that was almost even more impressive was the fact that I put her in that sort of a gear, crossed her over to the front, and she had the wherewithal to at least understand there was a turn coming. She couldn't have went around the turn as fast as we were going down the straight. Stopped her up, had her wits about her, attacked the turn the way she had to, trotted through the turn, and then took off again down the lane. That's the horse we purchased in Lexington. That's the one right now. So Bomb Hugger was very good. Tioga Sunshine, no disrespect in what she did. This is a nice filly and doing everything properly. You had a bit of a speed demon, a little bit of a runaway.
I couldn't. There were bottles there, but there weren't any of the top of them.
So the tops are somewhere, buddy. Look in where the Tupperware and stuff are. Mommy keeps it in there too.
All right, I only found this.
No, you got to get a normal bottle. So Bomb Hugger and Tioga Sunshine, both fantastic. Almost There, Boss, Miss Mildred, and Luck of the Dragon. I couldn't see what went on behind us. And then Amy said she made a very rare break with the filly that's been beating the hell out of everybody. But those three horses, they were flying. Miss Mildred has a lot to learn. You could see how green she was. Little bully, little strong in the hole. I moved her over and tapped her on the tail. Oh my God almighty, can she pace. And as fast as she was going, Almost There, Boss went by me. So that's how fast he was coming. A very, very good training set with those pacers. Blue Bayou Dio, Matt's MVP, Garden State Dio. You saw that these horses had some talent. All three of those horses need some work, need some polishing. I don't want to get into the Garden State Dio. You guys know what's going on with Garden State Dio, and I'll talk about this in depth in the other video. But I just don't feel the need to button down on her yet. It's a long year. Mentally, she's understanding her work. Physically, yes, she's making breaks, but they aren't attributed to anything more than her being green. And I'm not that concerned with it just yet. So Blue Bayou Dio, Matt's MVP, Garden State Dio were good. Kathy with an eye didn't pee on me today. That's a bonus. But she was good. I think when I hit her that swat down the lane, I scared Resolute Bay. But at the end of the day, Resolute Bay, he'll learn, right? He looked very comfortable. He made that break. Not really the end of the world. He'll come around. Johnny thought it was because I hit the horse. That's all right. I said to him, well, he had just a hair more weight to him, just to help him catch himself if something does spook him in the mile. So we'll switch to maybe a couple of sets of bell boots on him for a few weeks. This is just something he has to learn. If that, in fact, is why he made a break, fine. He's going to have to learn to deal with that. And then the last set, unfortunately, it certainly didn't ruin my day. But 3-point Blue Chip rolled off when he got doubled up in the hole. He's going to have to learn to trot like that also. So I'm not worried about that. He rolled off, but I watched the rest of the set. You got to believe just toyed with them. For a horse that we gave nothing for, and I'll be completely frank with everybody, we were looking for a horse affordably enough for a charity to do with McMaster University. It wasn't like I picked out You Gotta Believe. This was a horse that fit our budget, that made sense, that I didn't have any problems with, so we bought him. So he was kind of an addition to our cart, so to speak. And for him to look as impressive as he did the last few days training, that was an impressive mile. And made them like it today down the lane. Twinkle in her eye was coming to him. She looked better again today. Mario was very, very happy with her. I'm very impressed with the way Mario, Mario's got that old horseman mentality, right? Just take your time. But he knows that, I kind of contradict myself, right? Because I'm telling you, Garden State Dio, don't worry about it. And then everybody else, I'm like, put the hobbles on them, button them down, this, that. It just, in my head, I don't believe we need to go anymore with Garden State Dio. I'm not concerned with the breaking. Her sister ran her entire life and then went out and was a very, very good racehorse for us. So I'm not worried about that stuff. But I'm very impressed with the way Mario has now switched gears and now Stonebridge Hickory. I was going to take him up to the top barn. I've been happy with him the last week or so. He put the hobbles on him, put a brain cord on him, made him do his work, whereas I'm sure the old horseman voice in his head is saying, it's not a big deal, but it is to me. And Stonebridge Hickory looked great today. Rosie's Masterpiece, Renegade Gypsy. That entire barn down there in Barn 5 is doing a great job with those horses. Amor Diener looked great today again. So very happy with what Mario's doing and very impressed with Twinkle in Her Eye also. Finished up her mile strong today. Mario made her do her work rather than just sitting back and saying, she'll gradually get it. He changed her bridle, put a couple of holes in it so she had a little more spark to her, made her do her work and finish up strong. I love that. That's the stuff I want to see. And I know that James and I butt heads about it sometimes, about, the now as opposed to the later. I truly believe time wasted now is time wasted, right? It's not they'll get it later on. Now, again, that's a direct contradiction to what I just told you about Garden State Dio, but two different things. Garden State Dio's as big as a bus. I don't need her to do everything right now. She will. And I suspect when we do finally get her right, she likely will get the hobbles on, and when she does, you'll see an incredibly fast horse. We don't need to see that horse yet. The horses that I went with today that were fast, they don't need to go that fast for a while. They showed me today that they don't need me to be sitting on them any longer. It's not that I do something special, but I make them do the work, I make them do it right, and I was very happy with what I saw from the horses I saw today. You know, horses I didn't go with that impressed me: Renegade Gypsy, Isa 10, Matt's MVP, Garden State Dio, as I said, impressed me. Massive Profit, Tioga Sunshine, you know, almost Air Boss, and Luck of the Dragon. Luck of the Dragon, you look at the transformation of that horse from even a month ago. He's on the track, and we get different gear on him. We're trying to change his rigging. We castrated him. He's clappy. He looks terrible. Today, he just looked like a canoe on the water. He just slid right over the track and looked great. He just wasn't ready for the attack of those two other horses, but it looks like he's getting there. That's the first time, and by far the fastest he's ever paced. I was impressed with him today. So interested in how that's going to pan out. So, I didn't do the video yesterday because I wasn't me. I wasn't this. You know, when we have the babies trained good, I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm optimistic. And, you know, having bad races and bad luck and stress just lumped on top of me just makes it very hard to be super happy and super optimistic. So we'll endeavor to move forward. We're going to continue to make changes, but we will get through to the summer and put all of this behind us. So today was a good day. We'll talk to all of you and everybody very, very soon.